Welcome, everybody. John Zegar. How is everybody? I wanted to talk today for a little bit about, have we gone too far in America? I'm going to try not to get into politics. I don't want this to be about politics, but I want it to be about psychology and neuroscience and how did we get to this spot? America, the United States today, seems to be stuck. Views seem to be at their extremes. The lines and the boundaries that used to exist for people not to cross over, people now just cross over them all the time. An example of that might be this little soccer gal. I don't recall her name. She now just blatantly lashes out at President Trump. The new congresswoman, I don't know where she's from, Minnesota or someplace up in that neck of the woods, every day is on social media or media of some kind disking the United States. And just blatantly saying whatever she wants to say, whether it's substantiated or not. And people have come back and corrected her day after day after day after day. But nonetheless, she still is making those statements. That's just two people. And as this podcast goes on, I will probably bring up another one or two or several. Has America gone too far? Have we lost the integrity of several things? Normally we don't attack seniors, although that seems to be more prevalent. Normally we don't attack politicians, although we just openly do that. Normally we don't defy the government, although that is just a daily occurrence now. The whole issue with sexuality, gender, sexual, what are they calling that? Sexual, I don't know, whatever your sexual orientation happens to be, I guess. There aren't any rules and regulations any longer for that. It seems logical that a doctor or biologist or someone of that caliber might make a statement, indicating that, here, this is how the biology works. Doesn't matter to me what the answer is. It just seems like maybe we ought to have somebody with that background, expertise, and authority, define how that all works. We're now having little kids, 6 and 7, on the internet. You can go find this stuff, where they're declaring themselves as the opposite sex of what they are. We have parents, and you can find this on the internet, it's not just me. We now have parents that are steadfast with supporting some of those cases. For example, I saw on the thing a mother, her son wanted to be female, and she raised him as a female. Has America gone too far? Right? When I do my daily research, and I'm pretty good about doing it, interacting with people, reading as much as I can about various people and goings on in the world, and listening to as much video as I can about people and the goings on in the world. It has become blatantly clear now that there's huge hostility going on. In my little town where I live, I guess it's road rage, or it could possibly be just so many new people have moved in over the past couple years that the way our driving used to be is no longer, and it's being taken over by what seems to be the majority of the people, which is all the new folks coming from the bigger cities, and they're very aggressive. I'm just talking about my little city that isn't little anymore, really. So it's become very aggressive. Has America gone too far? That's not particular to just me. Get on social media and the internet and read about the violence that's going on the roadways. Seems to be where you can read a story about that more often than not. I've put up some articles as test articles just to see the reaction I would get from people in regards to helping the homeless, helping disadvantaged people, people with disease, cancer, people unemployed, people living on the streets, that kind of thing. Here's the response I've gotten. Now, this is just me. But I don't have time for that. That's not who I am. That's not my positive energy. That's negative energy. And I want nothing to do with it, and I don't want to support it. I actually got that response back pretty much verbatim. So then I went around and I started interviewing people. And I picked the downtrodden, the people that were struggling financially and living-wise and all that kind of stuff. And what I got was their families, pretty much across the board, completely deserted them. Maybe helped them for a short period of time, but then just withdrew everything. And seems what they're saying when I listen is that they don't even take my calls anymore when I attempt to call. That's pretty harsh. Has America gone too far? What happened to the day when... Here's another one. Churches. And I'll use the Roman Catholic Church. It used to be churches were open all the time because people wanted to stop in and make a visit and pray. Pretty cool. Well, the doors are all locked now, other than during the exact times of services. And I've followed this one real carefully. And the other thing I'm paying attention to with churches is that there's an awful lot of building and construction going on, adding rooms and halls and classrooms and lecture halls and areas where continuing education can happen. Speakers can come in. People can have their group meetings. There's a lot of groups going on now in churches. And I look at the budgets because the budgets are right there. You know, they put them on display. We're talking millions of dollars. And it is a positive thing, but it accommodates the wealthy. Right? Used to be the Catholic Church, I don't know if it was their mantra or motto or whatever you want to call it, was that our purpose was to help people in need. The poor, the needy, the downtrodden, the disadvantaged, the poor. They've moved from the top tier to probably the bottom tier, if you can even find it. I went in and I asked a couple priests, not a lot, a couple priests. I said, whatever happened to the Catholic Church and taking care of the poor and disadvantaged kinds of people? Wasn't that where the money was supposed to be spent? And I couldn't get an answer. I couldn't get a straight answer. What I did sort of infer from the conversation was the money is with the wealthy people, and we need to accommodate those people so that we have a larger budget to do more things with. And probably down the road we might be able to get, a little mission set up to help disadvantaged people. I thought the whole church was a mission to help disadvantaged people. When I grew up, that's kind of what I knew. It's gotten real ugly. It's gotten very, very ugly. And then when I go on to social media to do things that might enhance or grow my personal growth, there's all kinds of trainings, webinars, and, different things on the internet that are real positive. Workshops, seminars. I couldn't afford to go to one of those seminars or workshops at all. I saw the last one, I think just coming up, with Dr. Joe was $1,750. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he's now up to $1,750, and that's just for the workshop, and you still have travel on top of that, and you still have lodging on top of that. And then the other thing, which again I support, is in his particular case, to get a scholarship, you need to provide an awful lot of documentation. That you're sick, that you have a disease, that your doctor, medical team, legal professionals will attest to that and send letters stating that it's all true. And then I think there's you have to provide some medical information and some references, and I thought a scholarship was the kind of thing where we took disadvantaged people and gave them an opportunity to participate where they might not be able to. I didn't realize you needed to provide a dossier with professional people sitting down out of their busy schedules and writing a letter to Dr. Joe verifying the accuracy of this person's request. I don't know. I guess I can understand where people might try to take advantage of that. And I can understand where Dr. Joe and his team need to be a little more careful about that. But has America gone too far? Have we gone too far to where we're over the top? We've become so scared and suspicious any longer that, I don't know, we're taking opportunity away from people. I'm not sure. The other thing I've noticed with the education and training online is that everybody uses the same marketing techniques. And again, I understand it's all about marketing and making money and profit for these various people. I don't have a problem with that. And, they do a little webinar. Is that what they call that? Webinar? And, half of it is beneficial, and the other half is about signing up for the program that they're trying to sell you. I noticed that. I listened to Mary Morrissey's webinar a few nights ago. Really like her stuff. I like Dr. Joe's stuff. But, the first half, I noticed it was exactly half. Half of her, 60 or 70 minutes was about giving us some tools to use to enhance our growth financially. And the other half was about signing up and getting into her 12-week program. I don't remember the cost. Let me see, just a second. I don't remember the cost. But it was a substantial amount of money. This is where you get 1 hour a week of material. And then you're supposed to practice it for the week, and I guess every other week you get a group sort of question and answer type thing. But it was over $1,000, if I'm not mistaken. It might even have been into the teens. I want to say it was like $1,600 or something. $1,900. Yeah, no, that's correct. It was like $1,900 more or less, marked down from $2,300. Huh? Has America gone over the top? What are we doing out there? That little soccer gal who's making all kinds of absurd remarks about politics. Some guy who won't identify himself as a 2020 candidate for president says if he were elected, he would make her Secretary of State. She has no experience at life, and I'm quite sure without even knowing who this guy is, he probably has less experience at life. Have we gone over the top? Have we radicalized ourselves in America? I keep using, what was her name? There is a lady here, right, which you read and you hear. The Democrats are just violent. They have just become so violent about their agenda to socialize America. It's either their way or no way. I'm not making that up. I'm not trying to cause a war or conflict or dissension. I'm just observing. Right? Do we have to go that far? Can we still let people get up and talk that have, I don't know, different views than ours? Do the people talking need to demonize the other side? The little soccer girl and the little, I guess there's 3 new Congress women, freshmen or whatever. Rather than demonizing America, and you're now a congresswoman attacking America, trying to destroy America from within, wouldn't it be nice if you just would be happy to be in America and you've been elected to be a congresswoman and you can speak to your politics, hopefully based on what your constituents want, without demonizing? If you're here to destroy America from within, I don't get that. How did you get elected to do that? Same thing with the little soccer gal. I mean, she could be very modest and say thank you, or talk about some of the views that she has regarding, I guess, the gay community or something, trying to speak on their behalf for some rights without demonizing the other side. I don't understand that. In our little town, the homeless and the unemployed, it's not like they want to be homeless or they want to be unemployed. They want to be poor. They want to live on the back streets of a town. They don't. Have they given up? Some of them, yeah. By all means, some of them have given up. But America has in a sense, forced these people to give up. There's no more support like there used to be. Here's a simple example. Walmarts used to let the poor people stay in their parking lot, in a car or something like that. I remember seeing there were families in cars because the economy was so poor. Walmart just said, that's it. We don't want to see you anywhere. Towns used to help to accommodate by finding needs and resources for these people. And now, as I keep up with, places I study, they just say, we don't want a homeless person in our town, anywhere. And if you show up and we catch you, we're going to fine you a substantial amount of money, like over $1,000, which they don't have. Or you go in jail, or you lose, your car or whatever possessions you happen to have. They confiscate that and take it for themselves. Huh? I'm missing something here. I'm clearly missing something that's different than before. So anyway, that's kind of the podcast for right now. I'm pretty certain I've been off for a few days because they've got me now to where they want me to move up to a more expensive program that I really can't afford, but I have to do it in order to talk. Here's what I'm asking if you're listening. I need to have people following me on this Spreaker. I've been doing this for 2-3 years, and I never quite seem to get enough people to satisfy them. And I really need to have people follow and subscribe. I mean, I do a YouTube to be 1,000. I think it's 10,000 now. People listening or watching. It's gotten really crazy. Here's the other thing that's interesting. Periodically, I would say, send your penny, nickel, dimes, quarters, dollars, whatever, to my PayPal account. I now have to say that to survive financially. Everybody picks a way to produce an income in their lives, right? I've been doing psychology, clinical psychology, neuroscience and research since 1968. And after a period of time, you retire, right? And then you go and you do research, and you start doing more writing and that kind of thing. I've been doing this part, the research and the writing and everything, the social media stuff, for the past, 8 years anyway, since I've retired. I have to have some money now to live on. It's gotten to that point. They put pressure on us to pay them more to do the stuff we do. We have to put the pressure on you guys to help out. I don't know how I'm going to do it so that it's fair. I would appreciate it if people could just, periodically send in a little bit of money. But maybe we need to have a membership, which is crazier than all get out. But again, I'm happy to do it, to where once a month we do a 1 hour program where people can, I do a half hour on a topic, and then there's a half hour of questions and answers, pretty much on neuroscience. And trust me, today is neuroscience. We didn't even get into where do these people get all their beliefs from. I will probably do another podcast a little bit later today, I'm hoping, and explain to you where that came from and why these people are saying such outrageous things as they are. But the income's the income, So jzegar@gmail.com is how you get into my PayPal account. jzegar@gmail.com. Zegar. Please send some money into that account. Please send some money into that account. And if you have an idea or an opinion about maybe us doing more in the lines of students and a monthly group, go to my website, johnzegar.com. It's been around forever. There's a page there where you can go and offer your comments, and what you think. That's a good idea, John, and we sure would like to do that. Or if you have a topic you want to have me talk about in particular, regarding self-healing and stuff of that nature, let me know. Give me your views on just the need for some occasional income to continue doing stuff like this. I just think I want to keep doing it. I just made a commitment this morning to pay a substantial amount of money now every month. They've increased me, what would that be, 100? They increased me 400% a month in cost to do this. It's not quite 400%, but it's almost 400%. Think about that. That's a decision I made because I want to do this. But it's also part of a business decision. I have to figure out where that money's going to come from. And I'm not sure. Here's the other thing. I do consultation, education, training, and coaching for individuals, groups, or businesses. I have darn near 50 years of experience. It would be nice if, people needed that sort of thing, or some aspect of that. I'm sure we could work out something in that regards as well. So, anyway, glad to be back talking. Sorry it's not all positive. And God bless everybody. Take care of one another, and I look forward to talking to y'all again real soon. Thanks a lot. See you. Bye.